tried adjusting the game settings.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning, with the house.
Well, shows that data is in red, which is great. Let's just do the walk once again. It's still lagging.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
It's still choppy a little bit, but not much, so... Well, it's still quite bad, huh? Let's see how this helps. Come on, click it, Edith.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Sorry I keep looking at the stream.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Alright, looks like this helps.
In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Can you go down this path? It might both lead to the house, huh? Interesting.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. The woods around the house have always been uncomfortably silent. As if they're about to say something, but never do.
Missing. Am I pregnant? She has a belly, right? She looks like she's pregnant. Milton Finch. Hey, Capone.
The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
The house is something else. Little Katie? Why? I don't know why Little Katie, but she kind of does look pregnant, right?
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
I can put the words, but I will share my words after the game.
Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
That's fair. She's 17 and she's pregnant. My god. Yeah, she's 17. I knew she was really young. I forgot how young she was actually. Yeah, I kind of think it is.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
There are all the missing posters for her missing brother.
asked Edie once about the dragon in the pond. She said it had killed her husband. I was 6. It seemed like an odd joke to me, even then.
Ooh. That looks like a slide. I do think, I don't know if it's like ever said if it was consensual or not. I think it probably is, but also her family is not the best. I'm sorry, I'm slow. I don't think I can run. I can look closer. And I don't think I can run. Are you gonna, with your pregnant belly, you're gonna...
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Yeah, when you weren't pregnant.
The power had been turned off the night we left.
Look how beautiful it is. I might eventually want to replay the game with like the full resolution quality. I lowered the resolution quality because the game is still lagging. If it's okay, Capon with you. Capon, if it's okay with you, I was thinking we might look into internet with like better upload. Because I think that might also help with some of the lagging issues. But... So can you hear the audio and stuff? If you can let me know. Okay, great.
For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly. Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot.
It looks like nobody just cleaned it. A book of mushrooms, flavors of India. Tasting Thailand. Flour, salt, water, yeast. Oh, flour, salt, water, okay. Fanny Farmer Jr. Cookbook. The Book of Mushrooms. The Smoke in the Forest. Cosmic Cuisine. The Pleasures of Japanese Cooking. And some apple pie. Do you think it's key to just like do the recipe? Hey, Derek! Yeah, now you can see the timer. I made a timer every, I think, like 20 minutes or so. I forgot how often. The game is not like very graphic or it's not obvious or stuff, but there is a lot of things very much implied. And it's quite heavy. How are you, Tarek? Pacific Pantry. Book of Mushrooms. Was a lot of cans of salmon. Sloppy would be happy. That would be a lot of... That would be a lot of salmon for Sloppy.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Yeah, yeah, it was. Interesting photos. Oh, you can see in the garage there.
My mom was the only one of us who could imagine Great-Grandma Edie living in a nursing home. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
Yeah. Does look pretty messy. It's a beautiful house though. Look at the windows. Look at the fireplace, the bookshelves.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Do you match books? I just need more bookshelves.
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
Look at the view. It's really pretty. Not gonna lie, I would kind of like this style of house.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
It's 6 years since they left. Yeah, I think so, right? She said she haven't been here since she was 11. And she's 17 now. I wonder if she says something else now. No. Doesn't look like it. Barbara Finch. Is Barbara like an actor or somebody? Looks cool. Food must smell horribly. I don't know if somebody was here in the meantime. Like, it's abandoned, but... It looks abandoned, but it doesn't look like... It looks like somebody was living in here in the meantime. But there's a lot of stuff everywhere, but... I would expect a much more dust and everything in a house that was abandoned for 6 years. I think that was for Grandma Edie. Edie, Dawn, Melton, Lois, Edith. Melton doesn't have any post. Might not be dust in the forest.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Alright, I still don't know what the key is for. How tiny she is that she fit into the doggy doors.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Yeah. Grandma wasn't the best. Look at all the photos. My friend Bigfoot, Barbara Finch.
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Do you mind if I see a wine though? Orange Debbie wine, that's cute. I like that.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Barbara.
Barbara was a child star for 2 years, until America grew out of it.
Aww. (1944 to 1960). So Barbara was 16 when she died. I would enjoy some like reading Nook though. Like I like the house, like generally kind of like the house. Don't drink, it's bad for the baby. Yeah. It's probably like a really vintage wine at this point though. I want to look inside the other rooms. Like I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to go. Oh, and this is open.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Look how beautiful it is. How beautiful the rooms are.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Oh.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Okay. I wanted to look inside the other rooms before I explore the secret passages. Molly was 10.
Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
If she hadn't died when she was 10. There's a lot of books though. Sven and Edie. Sven Hofstad Finch, 1915-1936. Edie, 1917 to 2010.
The last time I was in Edith Sr.'s room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Oh no. Nope. So Edie was, I think that's the grandma, right? So she was almost 100 years old. She was what, 93, I think? Sven was younger. I don't know who's Gregory. Gregory was 1 year old. Oh no.
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
No, honey, that's normal families don't do that. Calvin. It's only Calvin written though. I think Sam is there as well written. Weird. Calvin was 11 years old.
My grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead brother, Calvin.
This is a lot.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
Alright, because I'm assuming first floor is where her room is, because we haven't seen her room. Look how beautiful this is. This is just awesome. I'm sorry, honey, but how tiny you are that you can actually fit into this.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Milton. Oh, he drew a kitty. That is cute. Why would you build a hiding space?
Maybe it sounds like I had a plan.
Yes. What? Reading what?
But I had no idea what was behind that door. Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Oh, I'm in Molly's room.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Aww, that is cute.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
It's also preserved. So imagine look how beautiful the room is. This would be a dream to have a room like this. This is so pretty.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Probably. Edith Finch. Come on.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Yeah, this is about where it starts to get like really dark.
My Halloween candy was all gone.
Hey, while I'm clicking it, I'm not clicking it.
I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back.
It looks really depressing now.
I kept eating and eating.
Oh, honey.
I ate a lot of things that night. Then I heard chirping outside my window.
Yeah, they're poisonous. Yeah.
It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly, I was a cat.
I feel like can I jump?
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
I might need to lower the mouse sensitivity. Don't mind me, I'll just lower it a little bit. Okay, this looks better, probably.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
Money Moon! Thank you so much for the raid. Penguin Army is ready to raid. Hip and hop and slide to the hearts of our friends. Hey Mario. Hey Druid. Welcome to What Remains of Edith Finch. Capon, could you give Moni a shout out? If it's okay. I don't know where I'm supposed to go now. I know I'm after the stream goes decently now. I had to restart it because Twitch was twitchy, but is this a spooky game? I wouldn't say that it's a spooky game, but it is definitely a very heavy and depressing game. Like, it looks beautiful, it's beautiful, the music is beautiful, but yeah. Thank you for the shout out, Capone. It contains some sensitive topics. There is a timer that shows content warnings, but also if you want to check them now, it should show up, I think, about like every 20 minutes, but also there is a command for content warning. So if you're sensitive to stuff like death, child neglect, and similar things, I appreciate everybody, but please, if any of the content stuff is too much for you, feel free to leave the stream. I appreciate it, and I very much appreciate the raid, but also this game can be very heavy. Am I trying to get to... I think I might be trying to get to the...
The babies were all gone.
Yeah, it's... Honestly, it's an amazing game. It has like a really... It looks beautiful. And I think it has an interesting story from like... about generational dysfunction and trauma and stuff, but it is heavy. Yeah, right now I am technically I look like a cat, but technically I am a 10-year-old child currently, who was locked in her room without supper because I guess she was, as a punishment, and she was so hungry that she ate some toothpaste, and she ate poisonous berries, which I think are like holly berries. And I think she's hallucinating right now. Yeah. Sorry to raid out and run, but it's almost 7 AM. I really need to get some sleep. Capon is cooking. Capon's gonna make potatoes for tomorrow, for lunch tomorrow and the day after. But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you Definitely go to bed. It's 7 a.m. Go to bed. I think I'm supposed to follow the bird.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Nay. Mario said he was going to bed an hour ago. Yeah, he does that. Oh, I wanted to jump on the table.
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Rabbits.
I don't know if I'm supposed to... How am I supposed to... Rabbits, yes. I know, I see rabbits. Oh, I'm supposed to tag them.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons.
Oh my god.
I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
I forgot about the animal... stuff. Alan Razor, how's the stream?
A mama rabbit.
Stream is definitely something.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
That's a big owl to be eating rabbits. Well, when you're a hungry child, kind of neglected by your parents.
I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever. I wanted fat, juicy seals. I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
Oh my god, I've completely forgot how bad this part is. Come on.
I grabbed on tight, but I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. Oh.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Real quiet and I just knock everything into the way.
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
I don't know, can I tag him?
Put him in the captain's daughter. Put him in bed with the captain's daughter.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And to cross the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I got closer and closer. All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
Is she gonna eat herself? Kind of. I think.
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
I kind of think that she. I think she was hallucinating, honestly. Oh, the Razor, thank you so much for the follow. I don't
can't
know.
describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
Well, given that her room is preserved as it was before, so yeah. I don't know where I'm supposed to go now. Put this under the bed now. Or nothing, given that I'm now Edith back and Molly died years ago. Honey, are you gonna be climbing around? Doesn't really look safe for that, but
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though,
Yeah.
when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Kind of have a feeling that Edie was living in the past. You have to gently head to sleep. Take care, have a good sleep at night, love yourselves. Thank you, Money. And thank you so much for the raid again. Have a good sleep. Come on. Okay.
I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
Grandma had a lot of birds. Grandma really seems to... Edie really seems to be enjoying like, keeping reminders of stuff. Like she kept the rooms preserved, and instead of reusing the cages, she just keeps them as memorial.
We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
Her room was like a museum.
I feel like this entire house is a museum, honestly. The Mysteries of Death and Thereafter by Edith Finch. Odin Finch. Odin Finch, joining the great majority.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Okay, that's... Okay, yeah. Oh, no, I keep clicking instead of stepping back.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
That's a beautiful room, though. The bed seems small for two people. If this was supposed to be for Odin, for Sven and Edie, oh, they're really small bed. Build 1937, Sven Finch.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
Yeah.
She could have, but she didn't.
That's the one that's... It's medical bed, probably just for her then. Oh, that's a good point, yeah. Dragon kills Finch. Yeah, that's the dragon slide that's outside in the pool or whatever it is. If you look... You can see it now. Thank you for the lurk, Odin Razor. Like when Edith approaches the house, there's sort of like a small body of water outside. It's not a pool, I don't know, it's like a pond maybe. And there is wood as the rest of the dragon slide.
Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Well, your mother had to deal with Edie, so...
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom.
It was a pretty big trace.
It's a really nice bathroom, though. There's a lot of nice lighting. I was wondering if you can look in the peephole, but probably not. Are you telling me that there's a secret? There's a secret in this bathroom by Swen and Edith Finch.
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
Edith Finch.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Milton was here again. Dark room for old photos. Yeah, but why is it hidden behind the bathroom? Fort Calvin. I feel like you are about to find his corpse eventually. Which corpse? That is a question.
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
His little brother Milton? Milton, so his little brother. Can you go up here? How do I get on the other side? Imagine having to share your space forever with the brother you lost. Like not having the option to redecorate it or anything. Oh, that might be the way forward. Like, it's a beautiful room.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Hey, he was also forced to relive it every time he's in his room, right?
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Yeah, he has a broken leg.
My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
Oh, come on. I need to remember how you use the... how you use slings. Oh.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
or maybe if the wind hadn't picked up, then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
It's honestly so bad when you have to control it. But you know you have to control it.
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
It's really bad when you have to control it. Like when you know you don't want to because it will lead to tragedy, but...
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Like you know it will lead to tragedy. You want to do it
After
and
the
it...
funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Yeah, but she still kept it like a mausoleum. That's not healthy.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
I don't blame him. It's like that Roots game you played a while ago. Yeah. Like, I don't blame Sam, because imagine, like, you have to stay in your... They are twins, which makes it even worse. And imagine you have to stay there, and... every day, every minute, as a reminder that your brother is dead. Like, it's like a mausoleum, really. I can't blame Sam for enlisting in the army and just like running away.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Smaller hands and bellies, yeah. She was pregnant. I blame parents, that swing was utterly insane. Yeah. That's another thing, like who built a swing above a cliff? When you know kids don't really have fear. kids just do stuff. And I did my fair share of like swinging on a swing and jumping from it just to see how far I could jump. How far I would fly. Honestly, it's impressive that I've never had a broken bone to this day. I would just like knock on wood. But yeah, I think she is trying to learn about the curse to make her child safe. Possibly. Like, imagine you just like have a swing above a steep cliff.